Okay, now obviously we've done this part so far. We've done what this is. Okay, we've done this first part here. So this was reviewing solving. This is reviewing solving by addition and subtraction. So we did this, went through this, okay, talked about from the subtraction you have to add, addition you have to subtract, okay, and we worked on dealing with different signs and whatnot, okay. We have done this before, okay. Then we had some additional examples we did. This is still the middle of the first page here, okay, and then we're still in the middle of the first page here, just looking over this, okay. So we went through fractions, how to do that. We talked about decimals. We had an additional problem for decimals to practice with that. Okay. We did number 3 as well. And then we did number 4 and we did number 5, correct, right? Okay, we did those word problems there and talked about those. We said, oh wait, those actually aren't as scary as we thought they were. Okay, word problems aren't as scary as you think they are once you practice doing word problems. Okay. So the biggest thing is just to know what the words mean and to know how to pick out information. That's the biggest thing. Okay, and those kind of skills will help you a ton on tests like the ACT as well, okay, to be able to pick out word problems and know what to mean, okay. If you look at the science portion of the ACT, the whole thing is basically just interpreting graphs and paragraphs, like interpreting graphs of data and like paragraphs that are explaining it. And it's like, that's the same kind of skills that you have in word problems, is like picking up information, okay, so if you can get good at that, that's basically the entire science portion of the ACT. Fun fact. Just gonna throw that out there.
Dude, it's dark outside.
Ooh, it is dark outside. Yeah, it's quite overcast.
Dude, it's actually distributing a tornado.
I know, dude. Right from that warm front and the cold front colliding.
Guys, want to know when to catch some drum, big ones. It's right now.
Really? You go fishing right now in this?
He goes fishing in England.
There was like lightning though. There was lightning earlier.
We were last year. I don't remember where it was, but I know we were down at the river. There's a tornado somewhere that we can see. We were still fishing.
It's crazy, but in Mr. Weston's class or whatever, we looked at the biggest fish ever caught. Like the fish was like hanging on a crane. It was like taller than four full grown men just stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
Taller than.
Dude, flounder get big. It's probably flounder.
That's what it was. Yeah, like it looked like a giant sunfish. But huge.
You know you have to shoot some flounder that gets so big.
No.
They actually did.
Is it like shooting fish in a barrel?
No. Well, I don't know. What is that?
How do fish get big?
It's an expression. It's if you have like a barrel, it's obviously it's like a closed container. If you're shooting, it's pretty easy to get it. So you're saying shooting fish in a barrel, like that's like the easiest thing is like taking candy from a baby. Shooting fish in a barrel.
I did it.
Yeah, but the Ozarks, there's a fish that gets there's that fish that has it's that paddlefish, the Ozarks. It's like eating like 3 men in the Ozarks, and there's something.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Alright. We're gonna dive into this, guys. So solving using multiplication and division here, okay? So solve each equation. We're gonna check our solution. Did we do this part?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. You see, now I was looking at Caden's and like he had his one from last time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, wait, I thought we done this. Okay, we solved by multiplication. Okay. And did we?
Yeah, we did those 3.
We didn't do the bottom, right?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we did.
No.
Yes, we
No.
did. Yes.
Which ones?
Well,
Yeah, the bottom ones, dude.
We did the examples. Yeah, we did
Yeah,
those
we
ones.
did
Yeah.
those.
You drink that one.
Oh, I asked you guys to finish this third one. I asked you guys to finish the third one. We had set it up. We had said negative 1 3/8 is the same thing as negative 11/8. Okay. We converted that to a improper fraction. We converted that to an improper fraction. We did that before we left. Okay. It's a negative 1 3/8. Okay, negative 1. That's like 8/8. Okay, so 1 is like 8/8. If we add that to 3/8, we get 11/8. But it was negative. Okay, we had done that before we had left. Okay. Then we had said, what do you have to do now to clear this fraction in front of the variable? Get rid of the fraction. Multiply it by what?
Multiply it by 1.
By 1. What happens when you multiply by 1? Do you get the same number or a different number?
Oh,
same number. So we don't want to do that.
0.
No, if you multiply by 0, then the whole thing turns to 0, and that doesn't help us.
2.
Okay? So you're just going to pick random numbers. Okay? What does it say right above it?
Isolate.
Isolate.
Let's say like 2 words before that.
The
Multiply by the
reciprocal.
By the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal, guys? Let's look at numbers 1 and 2. Right before it. What do we do? what numbers, okay, what did we multiply by on number 2? 3 over 2. Okay, what do you notice about 3 over 2 compared to 2 over 3?
They're just flip-flopped.
They're just flip-flopped. Hey, is that what reciprocal means?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. That's what reciprocal means. You flip the fraction. I've also heard it called the refliprical. Refliprical. Get it? Reciprocal, refliprical. Hey, you flip the fraction, okay? Hey, what did we multiply by then on number 1? Do you guys remember? You look down your notes if you don't.
5 over 3.
5. Hey, what do we notice about 5 over 3 compared to 3 over 5? It's the refliprical. They're flipped, okay? It's the reciprocal there. So, what are we going to multiply by on both sides on number 3?
3 over 2.
Be careful. We had 2 different fractions here. Which one did we multiply by? The one that was with the variable or the one that was away from the variable? With it. Notice 2 over 3, we chose 3 over 2. Okay? Which fraction are we going to choose this time then?
Negative 1 and 3/8.
Okay, negative 1 and 3. So we made it an improper fraction so that we can do this next part easier. So what would we multiply by on both sides here?
11 over 8.
Okay, do we want to multiply by?
8 over 11.
Good catch. We need the refliprical, right? The reciprocal there. 8 over 11. And hey, if it's negative, we're actually going to multiply by a negative as well. Okay, we're going to multiply by a negative as well.
Why wouldn't you take the negative with the 11 since it's already with it?
Right, we can put the negative with the 11.
Does it matter?
No, it really doesn't matter. That's a good question. I was just about to say that, so it works out well.
Okay, so that's why they call me gangster turn.
I don't think anyone's ever called you that. I'm just going to make an educated guess there, okay? So, hey, if we have a fraction, I'm just going to call it as it is, okay? Spoiler alert, guys. I don't even know how to react now. These are all the same thing. Whether you have the negative out in front for the top or the bottom, it's the same thing. Either way, the whole fraction is negative or the whole fraction is positive, okay? In this case, the whole fraction is negative in any of these 3 scenarios. It's the same exact thing, okay? So, we multiply both sides by 8 over negative 11, okay? Now, what I want you to do is I want you guys to finish number 3 off. So go ahead and finish number 3 off, please. Thank you. Okay? Remember how we multiply, okay? Remember we can cross simplify or cross reduce.
If they can go into it, can you cross reduce it? Like the 2? Maybe.
Well, are you talking about on the right side, Anthony? On the right side of the equation or left side of the equation?
The left side like that.
Okay.
How there's the 8.
So 2 can go into both of those, right? Is there any number that can also go into both of those that's bigger?
We have to multiply those, right? We multiply 8 and 3 and then 2 and 11.
Yeah. Do you multiply straight across or do you multiply diagonal?
Straight across.
Multiply straight across. Okay.
Dude, I don't even know.
Can you simplify those?
On the right side
Like, yeah,
or the left side?
the right side. No, so,
It just gets a little bit bigger.
alright, so,
Alright, so I'd like to have this first one right here.
Yeah, I agree.
We have that right so far.
Where's your equal sign?
Right.
So like so that's where's that?
Right here.
Okay, so let's look at this.
Good doing this.
First of all, let's make sure to write what I'm writing. Remember how I wrote that? Parentheses, 8 over negative 11. Let's write that down. What's going to happen is you're going to look back at this later. You're going to be like, I don't know what I did. Write this stuff down. Did I do what I'm going to say do? Because I multiplied both sides by that, right?
Sorry.
So, this all became what? 1. Okay.
I like
Okay,
it.
and what's right after 1? Equal. That's where your equal sign is. Okay? And then you did 8 times 2 is 16. 3 times negative 11 is side, we multiply it by what number?
2 over 3.
Multiply 2 over 3 by what number?
The 11.
Wait. So notice how up on here, okay, what did I write? What did I do with this? I put it in parentheses,
Yep, and you did third.
and then I multiplied by the reciprocal. I want you to write that down. You did that. I want you to do that on both sides.
I just erased all this crap.
You don't have to.
Is my answer wrong?
Well, your answer is close. If we work on this, and I can get you to the right answer.
Right.
So I want you to put this in parentheses, okay, like I did, and then write that 8 over negative 11, multiply it by that.
Is it even 2 over 3?
Yeah. Okay, so. I'm gonna put that in parentheses. And then what did I write after that? 8 over negative 11. You wrote the first part really big.
There we go.
So now I'll put the k there, right?
Does that go into?
Okay. So multiply the whole side. Right the original part there. So, so from here, this all became what?
Cross root.
So this all, you said 1k, right? So you can write k right there. And then what follows after k would be 2%, right? Now this, what's 2 times 8? You said it was 16. Okay, so 16. That's 3 times negative 11.
Negative 33.
Boom. See how that's different?
Yeah.
So when we write it this way, we are able to keep track of our negatives a little bit better. Okay? So that's why I write this. That's why I have you write it this way. Not just to make you guys do more work. Okay, that's for both you guys. What I was saying is not just to make you guys do more work. Okay, it's so we can have organization in our math and we can keep track of what we're doing. Okay, very good zero. Okay, so our answer does end up being after these cross reduce end up just being 1k or just k. If it's 1 times k, it's just k. Okay, it's like you just send a long text to somebody and what they send back, k. Okay, 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times negative 11 is negative 33. Okay, doesn't matter whether we put the negative on the bottom, the top, or on the outside.
No.
No, that's what we said up here, right? Doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so I have a negative somewhere. Okay, we put the negative on both the top and the bottom. What happens if we put the negative on the top and the bottom?
It doesn't change anything.
What's a negative divided by a negative?
Positive.
A positive. So it's like these were both positive, okay? And is that what we're going for here?
No.
Heck no. Okay, you gotta choose one or the other, but not both. Okay? Questions?
No.
Okay, now we're gonna work on solving by division. Okay? So on number 1 here, 11W is equal to 143. What operation, what mathematical operation is happening between 11 and W currently, Gracie?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. How do we undo
Division.
multiplication? We divide. What are we going to divide by? Just some random number?
No, 11 divided by 11.
We're going to divide by 11, okay? Because that is what's with the W. And we divide both sides by that 11 because we want things to be fair and equal and balanced out, okay? Now, here's the thing. 11 divided by 11, does that reduce?
No.
It turns into
It turns into
a 1.
a 1, right? Divides by it turns into 1. So we get 1W. Do you even have to write that 1?
No, you just read
No.
it.
Okay, you can just write the W if you really just wanted, okay? So hey, 143 over 11. Do we know that off the top of our head?
No.
Maybe not, okay? Let's go off to the side and let's do that work, okay? So 143 divided by 11. I want you guys to write this with me, okay? I want you guys, everything I write up here, I'm wanting you to write down here. You said shoot, like this?
Oh, no.
Is that what you were asking?
No.
Oh, I thought you were, my bad.
I got
Honest
the
mistake,
answer.
really. Okay, let's hold up. Okay, let's hold up for a second. Okay, good, hold up.
Hold up.
Tell me. It'll take a second when
I don't know. Yeah, I think I lost another one already.
Because I don't know somebody and now.
Anthony, didn't I just give one the other day?
You did?
I thought so. I gave somebody one. Maybe it wasn't
Do you have an
mine.
extra?
These
Because
are-
somebody's-
Hold on, coach, let me check.
No, if I have an extra, I don't even need to ask anybody anymore.
What is this? do not eat on it. Oh,
So even-
I know what it is. You know, you get fresh bags and they have this stuff in there to keep everything like fresh.
Yeah, they're the
For
beef
what,
jerky
though?
and stuff, bro.
Yeah. Why are these in your bags too?
I don't know.
Like the little things.
Oh, it just keeps the moisture out, so it doesn't like go in there.
I never took it out.
Don't need it. Okay. How many times does 11 go into 1?
No.
No, but does 11 go into 14?
Yes.
Yeah.
once.
How many times? Once. We're gonna put that above the whole 14, above the 4 there. So what's 1 times 11, or 11
3.
times 1?
You get 3.
11. Subtract, what's 14 minus 11?
3.
3. Okay, 4 minus 1 is 3, 1 minus 1 is 0. Now we bring the 3 down. How many times does 11 go into 33? 3 times. 3 times 11 is?
Like
33. What's 33 minus itself?
0.
So what does W equal? 13. Is that math a lot less intimidating when we actually start doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Finding out that it was 13 ended up being relatively easier compared to what some division problems might be, right? Wasn't it the most complex division problem we've seen, is it?
No.
Okay. Questions on how we do that? Okay. I want you guys to try number 2 by yourself. No, big ask. Big ask. Okay.
What are those push-up things that you can do? I just seen them on someone's story the other day.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who was it?
I don't remember.
It had been. I was in my Algebra 1 class. I did that. My freshman Algebra 1 class, first period last week. Should have been a freshman. Yeah, freshman on your Snapchat, Anthony.
Anthony.
Anthony. It's early. I'm just kidding.
Freshman.
With negatives.
It's early.
I'm just gonna try it, and if I'm wrong, then I'll switch it.
So you that'd be correct.
Okay, cool.
Very good.
I'm gonna leave it.
But why at 10:20?
Because it seems like a good time.
I feel like you're meeting up with someone
Let's
because
go with right now.
Okay.
Let's be back in a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
busted. Those darn kids.
All right.
In the bathroom.
You got this.
I hate when people pee in the room.
I know.
Yo, I don't know who put that sign up in
I
the
know,
last
I
year,
seen it.
but I should have took a picture of that and sent it to some friends because I laughed hysterically.
That was funny.
It was like,
Attention, no peeing in the door.
yeah. I'm going to disagree here because even though it's a -8, it's not -8. So what operation are -8 next to it? If they're right next to each other, what operation is it?
Division.
What operation was 11 to W?
Division.
What operation was it doing?
What is my operation?
11 blank W.
Multiplication.
Oh, yeah,
Times. So what's -8 doing with X?
dividing.
What was it doing with 11 W?
Oh, multiplying.
So if they're right next to each other, we're saying they're multiplying. So how do we undo multiplication?
Division.
Division. So we have to divide here.
So we could do divide 8.
Divide by what kind of 8?
Negative.
Yeah, after. Tell you what, I'll do the dab push-ups here in a little bit.
I just want to see if I can try them.
Don't try me here because I don't want you to hit your face. Me to get in trouble.
I can do clapping push-ups though.
They're not much harder.
I try one. And you try.
Dude,
I can back up on the ground.
Yeah, I can do both on the ground.
Maybe. I had someone wanted to try one last year here, and it's like hitting their face in the ground. Maybe I should have done
But I can do it. I can do the ones where you do a push up, jump up, do Superman, and then go back down and do it.
No,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't.
No, I can't.
that.
Can you do that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, you actually. I want to see them too.
Push up, back
Jump
in.
out, yeah.
Like actually jump or just move the arms.
What are you talking about?
Like push up and then as you're up, instead of a clap, you're just going Superman.
So when you do it, to push off the ground, your feet have
Oh,
to leave the ground too, jump
Oh.
like this, and then go
I've
back.
never tried that.
Try it. Peer pressure.
Do it and you're cool.
Is this right?
So what happens when you have a positive by a negative? Boom. Now you're right. Different signs, multiplication, division. It's always.
Alright, I got her.
What kind of 12 is it?
What you did?
Negative. This is 2 different signs, right? One's positive, one's negative. Okay. Get it, baby.
Can you use the restroom before you do your push-ups?
Why not?
What's negative? How many times is it go 8 going? We have to write that.
So can I do the restroom? I got like 3 agenda books in here because like I thought I lost them, but then they were just hidden in my
Do
bag.
you have Gracie's? Do you just keep stealing them from people?
Yep.
Like they all have like some people's things on them.
I have like 20 of them.
First.
I have 20. Yeah.
Do you ask freshmen about their Snapchat on there and you take them?
Okay, I can read that thought.
Sorry. Sorry, I don't mean to clown you. Yo, do you guys see Andrew Luck retired though?
Yeah, I saw that.
Crazy. I'm a big NFL fan, so I saw
Yeah,
that.
but he's like only 29, 30, right?
Yeah, he was 29 years old. And like he's like for sure gonna be a Hall of Famer too if he just continue playing.
Yeah, if he kept playing, he would have been much better. Another Tom Brady.
Honestly, he could have been one of the greatest of all time. Kinda. Not really. Anyway, Anthony's gonna get that.
16.
No, sorry. So how many times? So what's? So 9 minus 8 is 1. Okay. How many times is 8 going to 16? Okay. So yeah, this ends up being we divide by -8. Negative 8x divided by negative 8x is just x, because the negative 8 divided by itself is 1. Now we take 96 divided by negative 8. You guys don't have to put the negative right there when we do this, but we know that's going to be a negative because 2 different signs when we multiply and divide, it's always going to be a negative. So we say 8 goes into 9 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. 9 minus 8 is 1. Drop the 6 down now. 8 goes into 16 2 times. And 2 times 16 is, 2 times 8 rather, is 16. And 16 by itself is 0. Goes in an even 12 times. X is negative 12.
Oh, I did the division differently.
What do you mean?
Instead of putting 8, I put 96 in that. I don't even know how I made it.
That's interesting. Does it make sense why we do it this way though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't even know how I made it.
As long as we're Gucci on that. Okay? As long as we're Gucci on that. Hey, on number 3 here. What's happening with negative 3 and s? What operation are they doing right now? Multiplying. So what do we do to undo that? Divide. And we divide both sides, right? Not just one. And what are we going to divide them both by? Negative 3. Whatever number's there. It's negative 3. What's negative 3s divided by negative 3? It's just 1s, so just s, right? Okay. Now we might not know negative 0.42 divided by negative 3 on top of our head. Hey, when we divide this, okay, first of all, the negative divided by negative. So what do we know about the answer? It's going to be positive or negative? Positive. 2 negatives, and the 2 signs, 2 of the same sign in multiplication and division. Positive. Opposite side, we write 0.42, 0.42 divided by 3, okay? Hey, what do we do with this decimal? Does anyone remember?
You bring it up.
You just bring it up right there.
Yes, sir.
You've started. Okay. Is that the same thing we do with the decimals on the outside, though? No, what do we do with the decimals on the outside? Okay, let's figure that out. Okay, so if we're going the other way, if you're going the other way right now, hypothetically speaking, guys, okay, if you're going the other way, what do we do with the decimals? Does anyone know here?
You bring it over.
You move it over. How many spots?
2.
2. So what do we have to do with this decimal?
Bring it over 2 spots.
And what do we put in these 2 blanks?
Zeros.
Zeros. Get some sort of placeholder, okay? So you bring it over, okay?
I never got that in middle school.
Okay. Does it make more sense now or no? Okay. We're saying what's happening is you're really multiplying this number by 100, and what's happening is we're really multiplying this number and this number by 100. And you multiply them both by the same thing. It's like you didn't do anything. It's kind of like when we divide both sides by the same thing. It's okay. It's still equal. That was a hypothetical. Okay.
Your shoes are
Okay, buddy.
Where's your agenda book?
Yes.
I got the answer.
So I want you guys individually to finish this problem off. I want you guys to finish this problem off.
One you created.
No, this one.
Oh, I got it.
I think I got it. Oh, so you're actually on that.
Oh, ooh. I don't anymore.
Okay.
So, four up here, questioning that too.
Yeah. I actually don't either.
I don't. I never did.
So now see how it has 3 go.
And I'm good with it.
Or 2, it's
Sure.
Does that make sense? Division.
All day, every day.
Go all the way up, right?
Not right now.
That can work, but once we get really big numbers,
Huh?
this is gonna be a lot
Right.
faster for us, okay? Don't be afraid of
I do.
Very good.
That is it?
That is it, my dude. Okay. How many times does 3 go into 4? Once. What's 3 times 1? 3. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring down the 2, okay? Because 3 doesn't go into 1. 1 is too small. Okay? But 3 goes into 12 how many times, Sierra? You said 3 goes into 12 how many times? 4 times. Very good. So we write that 4 up there above the 2. And 3 times 4 is 12. So we say 12 minus 12 is 0. So it goes in even 0.14 times. Okay? Now if you guys want, you guys don't have to write that 0 before the decimal. Not a bad habit. You guys don't have to write the 0 before the decimal, right, Anthony?
Yes, go.
Okay. We're gonna write an equation for this problem here, okay? And we're gonna solve it just like we did a little bit ago with multiplication. Not with multiplication, with addition and subtraction. We're gonna write or work the equation from the words, okay? So -14 times the number equals 224. I want you guys to try writing that. I want you guys to try writing. Not solve it. I want you guys to try writing what that would be.
Wow.
Well, it's easy.
Alright, you should do your push-ups.
I'll do them after this one.
I'm such a child.
Let's get it. -14 times not a number.
Oh,
He always the whip for you.
I just tried to solve it, Mr. Falcon.
shit on my fucking hands.
I know.
I have sweaty hands.
Okay. So yes, we all got it. It was -14 times any variable. Okay, I saw some people use A, some people use X. Doesn't really matter. Okay, we can really put a smiley face there for all I care. Our most common one I would say is we use X, so I'll just use X just to get in the habit. Equals 224. We just went through and just said, oh, -14 times number X. Whoo! Equals 224. Yeet. Now, I want you guys to solve it. Think about, okay, what's happening with the problem? How do we undo that, right, Kate?
Yes, Castle.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on solving this problem here.
Alright, so. Oh, this one's already harder than the rest.
Yeah, isn't that the classic math teacher thing, though? You just like started off easy, and it's like, boom, let's get hard.
Yeah.
I know.
Right?
Or it just feels easy because we have a teacher doing it.
Dude, so you have to take 14 all the way into 224.
Set it up though, it's not as bad as you think it is.
Okay, I got this. This is easy. This is easy money.
Like young money,
Yeah.
like cash money,
Yeah.
like billionaire.
No.
Oh, good. That part's stupid.
Okay, I think I got this
All
one.
those darn mumble rappers.
I think I got this one.
Let's check.
But I had a
Oh, you're on the right track.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, bad. It's the opposite of Shaq at the free throw.
Huh?
It's the opposite of Shaq at the free throw. He was trash.
We swash them. Okay, so I know 14 times.
Are you still trying to figure out what it goes into?
Yes.
I am too.
Okay, so did you do the first part of it though?
Yeah, I did. I put it in the thing, whatever. I'm just trying to figure out how to do what for.
Well, here's a trick, okay? So we know it ends in 4, right? So what times 4 ends in 4? 4. Okay. Does it? What's 4 times 4? Oh. 16.
So
16.
60.
So that would end at 6. So what times 4 could end at 4?
Ooh, yeah, 6.
Okay, so let's try 6. So let's try 6 times 14.
That's only 94.
Try it.
What?
Oh, it's 84. Yeah, that's true. That's right.
What's that? What's the number?
I guess it.
What's 22 minus 14?
Oh, oh my gosh, Yeah, I think.
So you put 12 there. You do 2 minus 1 and then you do 4 minus 2.
I think I got
Or
it.
you need to do 2 minus 4. Borrow.
I'm done.
You end up getting 8. Okay. What kind of 16?
I keep forgetting that. Damn.
Whoa. Don't you borrow soap, Caden?
Oh,
I go get some.
yeah, can you get, hey, give me that hand.
Here you go.
Yeah, here
Put your mouth under here.
I got some better soap in here. Some real hand soap.
Hold on.
Holding on.
Here.
Gotta rip it. Dude, don't throw that away. What if that goes into the ocean? Those turtles.
I don't care what the turtles do.
So, how many times is 14 body bag?
Dude, stop.
We come
I
with
don't
that.
have very many pencils. I think I'm looking at axe.
I know, I am too.
My armpits have been itching all day.
These are like fruit pebbles. I swear to God, smell. If you smell close to like you can hold it. Like it. Here, it smells like fruity pebbles. That's not bad. My armpits smell like fruity pebbles. Fruity pebbles.
So it's smaller than 22, so that would go into it. Okay. What's 14 times 2?
Here, smell this.
Yeah, it's
Like, we'll get the video super close to it. Smells fruity pebbles.
Smells like gas.
What's
Smells like ASS.
No, it doesn't smell like fruity pebbles. Okay, what's 1 times 2?
It smells so bad.
So that'd be 28.
I can't believe yours
That's
like that.
That's
That's
28 going to 22. I didn't have an ass 14 going to that.
You did.
Prove it.
But look at your grades right now.
That's too big.
He hasn't changed the grade yet since 6th grade.
That's too big. So it only goes up 1 time.
Oh no,
Actually,
actually,
one above that. Yeah, what's up?
do you have to go to Mrs. Ayala real quick? I thought there was no way I can get my infinite password thing changed.
We're gonna wait right now. Maybe that's your teacher.
Yeah, alright, we gotta see this picture short.
Yes.
So I can see
So-
what I can do.
What's 1 times 14?
Okay.
We need push-ups.
Try it.
Push-up first. So,
Yeah.
Should
I?
I got a little box. Huh? How much testosterone?
You try it.
Okay, let's go back to our seats, back to our seats, back to our seats. Gracie, nice Canadian tuxedo today, by the way. So they call it when you wear denim on denim, Canadian tuxedo.
Come on.
Fun fact, okay. So hey, we know it's multiplying, so we knew we needed to divide by a negative 14, right? Okay. Hey, right out of the gate, we can know that x is now going to be equal to a positive or a negative number. Positive divided by negative, different signs, so it's going to be a negative. Whenever we multiply or divide with different signs, it's negative, okay? Same sign's always positive. 224 divided by 14. Remember how we do this? Say, hey, does 14 go into 2? No, it's too small for it. Does 14 go into 22 though? Once, okay? What would happen if we tried going into twice? What's 2 times 14?
24.
28. Is 28 too big for 22? Yeah, it don't fit, okay? So we go 1. 1 times 14 is 14, okay? Subtraction. 22 minus 14 is 8 there, okay? Okay, think of it as you have to borrow 1 here. For this problem, you have to borrow 1. So 22 minus 14, throw outside 22 minus 14. Okay, you have to borrow 1. Make this 12. 12 minus 4 is 8. 1 minus 1 is 0. So that ends up being 8. Bring the 4 down now. Because 8 is too small. Bring 4 down and move the spot over. 14 into 84, okay? I noticed we were trying to figure out what to do on what fits in there, okay? So some things you can do is you can start guessing and checking, okay? Here, a pro gamer move, as to know what to try and guess and check, is saying, hey, we know this last number here will end up having to be a 4. So we can say, what times 4 will equal 4, okay? So 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8, so that can't be it, because it can't end in 8. 2 times 4 is 12, can't end in 2. Okay, guys, please stop drawing. Okay. 4 times 4 is 16, can't be that, it doesn't end in 6. 5 times 4 is 20, can't end in 0. 6 times 6, so is 24, so it ends in 4. Let's try that, okay? So 14 times 6, what? 6 times 4 we said was 24. 6 times 1 is what? 6 plus 2 is 8. Hey, that worked, okay? 6 times 84 minus 84 is 0. So x is equal to a negative 16. Questions on that? Gucci gang. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Now this started. The story behind this is that I gotta stretch out here. Oh, okay. The story behind this is that I was this summer and a few summers ago as well, I was a small group leader, like like kind of a camp counselor at a camp. Okay, and I had in my group I had freshmen and sophomores in high school. These are going to freshman sophomore year, so we're really about the same age as you guys. Okay, and they were like, and at this camp, like it was like a FTA, like a sports camp. So they were playing soccer together, and so they said they noticed I worked out. They noticed I was a little strong. Okay, and they were like, I'm not trying to flex on you guys, just take the facts, okay? And they were like, can you do a dab push-up? I'm like, oh, what? They're like, a dab push-up. I'm like, you mean like you like instead of a clap? Because you go up, you dab? They're like, yeah. I'm like, I mean, probably. Let me try it. And so I try it, and they're all like, and I get it, a few times, of course, and they're like, whoa, like. I wouldn't want to mess with you. I wouldn't want to meet you in an alley and like stuff like that. I'm like, oh, because I can do a dab push-up? Okay. You guys ready for this though?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So, dab push-up.
And just a tiny Superman.
Superman. So, just to clarify, when you go up, you not only move your hands out, but you have to move your feet out.
No, you should pick up your feet from the ground.
Pick up your feet from
Yeah,
the
you
ground.
just
Yeah.
like,
So you're
your
flying,
entire
basically.
body. For like a millisecond though. You push up and then you just like.
Yeah, too old for this guy, I'm telling you.
can't do it, but I'll demonstrate. Okay, so basically when you do
At least show me the back half. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm like this when you do it like this.
So I need to
It's
move
like
my legs higher up.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to do.
What is that push-up, kid?
I can't do that push up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty close.
Oh, that's weird.
It looks like you're doing
I
the
feel
work.
like I was gonna say I feel like I had bad timing with it.
Try the dog push-up once.
Me?
No, I'm not gonna try it here. I want to hurt himself.
I won't hurt myself. I'm an athlete.
I ain't an athlete. I'm Mr. Constance. Telling you guys to get too old for this. I might have to retire soon.
Oh, isn't it like your second year teaching now?
Maybe it's me at my age, you know.
Okay.
Okay. Y'all whippersnappers. Anyway, and now we're gonna go to the bottom of this page. We're gonna start solving two-step equations, okay? They call me two-step, right? Okay, so he's still alive, right? Okay, so 2a minus 6 equals 4. Call it two steps because how many steps are there?
2.
What? No way. Is that straightforward? Yeah, it is. Okay. So here we notice if we look at A, we want to get it by itself. We have two different things happening with A. What's one of the things that's happening with A right now? Okay, they're subtracting by 6. What's the other thing? Multiplying by 2. Okay, which one of those do we need to get rid of first? Actually, the subtraction we need to get rid of first. I know it's kind of like reverse there. Okay, we flip that around because we need to get all of the like terms together. Now, is 6 like number like 2a, or 6 more like 4?
4.
Right, because it doesn't have a variable, so it's called a like term with 4. So we need to move the 6 across first. How do we move the 6 across?
You add it.
You add it. That's the opposite, right? You add 6 to both sides. What's negative 6 plus 6? 0. So you have 2a is equal to what's 4 plus 6? 10. Hey, now is this very similar to problems we just had?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what would I do from here, Anthony?
Get the a by itself.
And how would I do that?
So subtract 2 by both sides.
Now subtract 2. What operation is happening between 2 and a?
Divide 2.
I would divide because it's currently multiplying. 2a divided by 2 is just a. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay. And 10 divided by 2 is?
5. So
5.
5.
So a is equal to 5. Hey, how would we check our answer?
You would just reverse it, so multiply.
You just plug it back in, right? You'd say, okay, 2 times 5 instead of 2 times a minus 6. We'd say equals. I put a little question mark over there to say, does it equal? And I raise my voice, say equals. This means you're asking a question, right? Okay. Word of operation tells us we would multiply first. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. 10 does. Okay. 2 times 5 is 10 minus 6. Hey, does 10 minus 6 equal 4, guys? Yeah. So 4 equals 4. It worked out. We had the right answer. Okay. That makes sense?
Yes.
Did you guys write all of this part? My hands up.
I did most of it, yeah.
I want you guys to try number 2.
Question on number 2. Because there's not a second, like,
But there is. There is a sneaky second
It's
step.
an R.
Right? What kind of R is it?
Negative R.
Negative. So our second step is to make it positive. Okay, so instead of our second step being divided by 2 here, our second step is going to be making that R positive. Okay, so I want you guys to do number 2 though.
So we would start out with plus 7. Minus 7.
So, how did you get O at R? Okay, let's leave it as -1 times R. First one.
Alright, so then do this number.
What's 8 minus, okay, so you subtract it from the R. You want to subtract from both sides of the equal sign. So you subtract from the right side of the equal sign, you can subtract from the left side of the equal sign too.
Okay, so
And also use super to write this down.
and I started, I erased it and started writing it down again.
Right, go ahead and try it down.
So I redid that.
Yeah.
And then I.
It's like equals, right, equals what equals negative r. So let's just keep writing. Let's keep it.
My B.
So now, you can think of the negative 1 times r. By by negative, what number is in front of the r? Yeah, so negative 1. And then you divide, so you divide the left side of the equation, the right side of the equation, so you divide the left side of the equation. So 1 divided by negative 1. What kind of 1? Negative 1. Yeah. Make more sense?
Yes.
Thank you. And
You want me to keep going?
Hmm?
You want me to keep going?
he is subtracted from both sides of the equal sign. So you already subtracted it from the right side of the equal sign. Everything on the right side of the equal sign. 7. Now you need to subtract it from the left side as well. So in this sense, negative 7 equals negative r needs to be on the left side of the equal sign. So what's it need to be equal to?
There's no point. So, okay, so instead of, I would do the r, I would not do the negative, I would do the 8 instead.
You do minus 7 over here. So what you did, Caitlin, was you subtracted 7, right? You have to do it from both sides of the equation. Did you subtract it from the right side of the equal sign? Or you subtract it from the left side?
Oh, so I have to.
Here.
So we need to keep the equation equal and balanced. So we always say we do something on both sides, right? Okay. So what that means, instead of being here, if this is the equal sign, you did something twice on the right side. But you didn't do any on the left. But we're supposed to do it once on the right and once on the left, correct? So now we did it once on the right. And how many times did we do it on the left? Once. It's 8 minus 7.
One.
Okay, so we can write equal sign to that now. Negative r, we didn't change that, so we still write it. Okay. What's 7 minus 7? You said it's 0. So you have to write it? No. Okay, so now we're at this line. Does that make more sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, is that drawing that line would help? Where the equal sign is? I would like you to keep doing that, okay?
Alright.
Does that help you visualize that a bit more?
Yeah.
We need to have it on each side. That helps us see that R side, okay? We'll talk about, let's do it this step, okay?
Okay. Why did she write that on there?
That's not my handwriting.
What's on mine?
Whose handwriting does it look a little more like?
I don't know.
If only I could tell. Did you finish this one?
No, I was waiting for a question.
Why'd you spell restroom wrong?
I didn't.
You spelled restroom.
It's not my
That
writing.
was embarrassing. You read that one.
You're in restroom.
Can you wait 2 seconds so we?
Actually, that does look like Chrissy's handwriting, but I know it's not.
Yeah, exactly. That's her.
I know it's not.
Look, you want me to write it? Watch.
I know your R's. I know you write your R's and stuff. So.
Oh my god.
Okay. So hey, everyone focus back up here on the board. Okay, everyone focus back up here on the board. Okay. Okay, everyone focus back up here on the board. There we go. Okay, good time to start.
Yeah.
So, if we have a side of the equal sign, we just draw a line here through the equal sign. So we have distinct sides. That might be a tip that can help people, okay? So, here we said we need to subtract 7. So we subtract 7 from the right side of the equal sign. Now, where do we need to subtract it from as well?
No. R.I.P.
Not
The left side of the equal sign from the 8. So we need to keep it on both sides of that line, okay? We need to do it on both sides of the line to keep it equal. What's 8 minus 7 though?
1.
1 equals, did we change the negative r? No, so we write it. What's 7 minus 7, guys? 0. We don't have to write it, okay? Now we have negative r is equal to 1, or 1 equals negative r. Now here's the thing, we want that to be positive, don't we? Okay, so we can think of this as a negative what number times r? Negative 1 times r, because will that change the value of it?
Yes.
What's 1 times anything?
1.
What's
The
1
same
times
number.
the same number, right? What's 1 times 5? 5, right? What's 1 times negative 230?
Negative 230.
Right? It wouldn't matter what number I say, it's the same number, okay? So 1 times that number. So if you don't see anything in front of a variable, there's secretly a 1 there, okay? If you don't see anything in front of a variable, there's secretly a 1 there, like this n. What number is secretly in front of this n right here?
1.
1. What's the number secretly in front of the k? 1. What number is secretly in front of the s?
1.
1. What number is secretly in front of this r?
1.
1. In this case, it's just a negative 1, okay? Now, how can we get rid of a negative 1 times r?
Add it.
How do we get rid of a 2 times a? Divide it. So we can divide by what number?
1.
What kind of 1?
Negative.
Negative 1. I can do that to both sides. What is 1 divided by negative 1?
1.
What kind of it, though?
Negative.
Negative. When we do different signs, it becomes a negative number, okay? So negative 1 is now equal to, what's negative 1r divided by negative 1? What's negative 1 divided by itself?
Negative.
Well, negative divided by negative, 2 of the same sign end up being a
Positive.
positive. So this ends up being a positive r. Did we make r positive like we wanted to? Did we make r positive like we wanted to? Yes, we did. Okay? Questions on that one?
No, sir.
Okay.
That one's good.
Ooh.
Oh, good one.
Ooh.
I'm not an instant child. You just called me an instant child for no reason. You said you're an instant child. You're an infinite. Boom.
If I ever need to learn bad comebacks, I'll just ask you guys. So 3, 1/2 q minus 13 is equal to 37. 1/2 q minus 13 is equal to 37. I want you guys to work on this one, okay? If you're having trouble, look earlier in your note page. Look earlier on your note page if you're having trouble, okay? Also, you can ask me, right? That's what I'm here for.
Wait. I have a question real quick. So if this is like over here, it's negative 13, and then minus negative 37, or would it just be 37?
Just normal 37 so far. So how do you, what number do you need to move first?
The 37
Where is the 37 with the q or away from the q?
away.
Okay, so do you want it with the q or away from the q?
Away.
So what number do you need to move it with the q?
30.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I agree with this step. Okay, so 50 is equal to 1/2 q. 1/2 q. So let's keep that 1/2 q there for now. Okay, let's do one step at a time. So now how do you get rid of that 1/2? Okay, so you multiply by. And do you do it just on one side or on both sides? Ooh. It's a q on that one. So, AC divided by half. What did we say we did when fractions up here? There's a fraction in front of the variable, then multiply by the reciprocal. Do you remember that? We did that earlier today, right? So what did we multiply by when it's 2/3 be? Multiply by. Yeah, see how we switched that? So we're going to multiply by here 2 over 1. You got to do this as well. So if you think about the multiplication instead of that division, that's going to help you out big time. You betcha. I hope it went well.
Yeah, Mom, good.
Oh, what an instant.
What do you keep calling me? Instant?
So here's the thing, okay? So
Like 40.
I just
Not you, but
Hearing.
on the right track.
Retardation.
3 plus 7 is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you add the low pressure. Oh.
Mr. Costello, I have a complaint to make.
Okay. Is it about how you haven't started number 3 yet?
Oh, I didn't even know we were on number 3 yet, actually.
Oh.
Sorry, we had to find out some.
Better instructions from your teacher.
Yeah, maybe.
Some coaches, right? Yeah. I said yeah.
I-
Yes. Very good. Well,
Alright,
what's happening with Q?
so that's being subtracted and multiplied with that half number.
So what would you do first?
Add
Add 13, right? So let's do that. Start with what we know.
50. Okay, so if I put 1 over 2 and then I times 50 over 1, right?
So 1 over 2Q equals 50, right? So what did we do earlier when there was a fraction in front of the variable? Look up to our second set of examples.
This one?
No, our second set. They go to the top of the page. Go down, there you go. What did we do there with when it was when we had a fraction?
We flip the whole way.
Okay, so what are we gonna do here now when there's a fraction from the variable?
Flip it.
Yep, the same thing.
So I would put 2 over 1.
Multiply both sides by that, yep.
This is hard. I've done this in so long.
Oh, good, they were practicing, right?
Okay, so I got 2 over 2.
So I got 2 over 2.
What is 2 over 2?
2. 1.
You said Q, right? Q. 1 times Q is Q. Equals what?
100.
Yeah.
That's right.
Is there a Gucci here?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You bears with the woods? Anthony, what are you writing, buddy? Not sure. Okay, what's 30? What's negative 13 plus 13?
That's a question of the day.
I don't know what to do.
You better sleep.
Poop, but
Oh, food. That makes you sleep.
yeah, he did. I saw hungry. Mr. Carlson. Nice to meet you. Do it hands or get it.
My stomach's starting to hurt.
We got like,
Plus, a steam peep still got an hour to go.
We have 5 minutes into this class. 6 minutes actually.
So is that the last question?
Maybe.
Probably not, we got like probably 2.
I mean, but it wouldn't make sense though because then we'd be like offset. Get it, offset. But like we have 1, 2, 3. We're done for today, and then we can do 4, 5, 6 next class. Yeah.
What if we did like 4 as homework though? Is that a lot of homework?
Is 4 homework?
What if we do?
Little fun.
So, let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this up here. Okay? So, 1/2 Q minus 13 is equal to 37. Our first step is going to be get rid of the subtraction, just like we did on the first 2 problems, right? Let's add 13 to both sides of this equation. 13 minus, or negative 13 plus 13 is 0. 1/2 Q, 1/2 Q is now equal to, what's 37 plus 13? We said it was. What's 37 plus 13? We said it was.
Oh, that was
50. Very good, okay? Now, earlier in the page, we said, what do we do when we multiply by, when we have a fraction in front
Flip
of it? We multiply by the reciprocal, right? So multiply by 2 over 1 on both sides. Okay? Go away. Okay? So, Anthony, what happens with this 2 and this 2? You cross reduce, right? So what and what? 1 and 1. So we just have 1 times q, which is just q. Okay, what happens with this 50 and this 2 over 1? How can we think of this 50 to help us? We can think of it as a, what, Gracie?
Fraction, you put it over one.
Yeah, you can put it, think of it as a fraction, making it 50 over 1. We can put anything over 1 and multiply straight across. 50 times 2 is 100 over 1. Do we even need to write that as over 1? No, we need to write q over 100. Hey, so did we just combine something we did earlier with this fraction thing with something we did now? Did it change what we did here, or were we already knowing what to do? We already knew, we just had to apply that, okay? Now, hey, number 4 looks very similar to me. Notice it's a variable, or a division here, okay? Looks very similar to me. I want you guys to do number 4, you guys do number 4 for homework, okay? If you guys finish it now, you guys don't have any homework. You guys have 4 minutes, okay? If you finish number 4, you're done. That's our homework.
Is there something on my face?
It's not five.
Anthony, face forward, please. Yeah, put your phone away.
You just said it one more time, so we didn't have to do it.
I said if you finish it now, you're done. I didn't say you didn't have to do it. I understand where you got that from, though.
But
So-
it's called homework.
It is homework time, but we have work time for this homework. So if you guys finish it now, if you finish it, you can be on your phone.
I'm not gonna finish it.
That's the mindset.
I just feel like it.
So, S over 12 is division. Can we multiply?
Done, do that, yep. But would that be the first thing you do?
No, I already did it.
Dope.